I'm going to call on Javier Becerra, but I just want to follow up on a couple points. There's some strong disagreements on the numbers here, Paul, and but I don't want to get too bogged down. And first question I have is whether your side thinks Medicare Advantage is working well, because I think it's important just to point out that when we keep on talking about cuts in Medicare, what we're really talking about is what Joe alluded to, which is a decision was made a while back to set up a system in which Medicare costs, let's say, $1 under the government program that 80% of people still use and are perfectly satisfied with, and there's no showing that it's not working for them. We said we'd give it to private insurers and we'd give them a bonus of $1.15 for every dollar in the normal plan. And it turns out that people aren't healthier because of that extra $15 or 15 cents. It's estimated that it's costing us about $180 billion over 10 years, let's say $18 billion a year. And essentially what my proposal would do and what the House and Senate proposals would do would say, instead of having the insurance companies get that money, let's take that money. The savings are between $400 and $500 billion a year. And let's devote some of that money to closing the donut hole, which has already been talked about. Seniors who need more prescription drugs than Medicare currently is willing to pay for hit this gap where suddenly they've got to use it out of pocket and they just stop taking the drugs or they break them in half or what have you. Let's fill that. That costs around $30 billion a year or $300 billion. And let's make some other changes that would result in actually the 80% of seniors who aren't in Medicare Advantage getting a better deal. So we can address some of the broader issues, but I just want to focus on Medicare Advantage because I haven't seen an independent analyst look at this and say seniors are healthier for it or taxpayers are better off for it. That's what we're talking about reforming. We're not talking about cutting benefits under the Medicare program as is required under law. What we're talking about is Medicare Advantage. And it may be that some people here think that it's working. I know that there are some Republicans who are sitting at this table who don't think it's working. You can argue and say, okay, let's not do Medicare Advantage and let's not close the donut hole, for example. Or there may be other ways you want to spend that money, but I just want to establish whether we've got some agreement that the Medicare Advantage program, which is what we are proposing to reform, is actually not a good deal for taxpayers or for seniors, and certainly not a good deal for the 80% of seniors who aren't in Medicare Advantage, because, by the way, they're paying an extra premium of about $90 a year to subsidize the 20% who are in Medicare Advantage.